Yeah, Ziggs is just meta if you're really nice engages. And I think that's a little bit of the problem in the lower end teams, is that they kind of don't have the organization with that. So, of course, they're going to ban Ziggs out on. Then in Kassadin, they're the first big team. They're banning Kassadin, though. And I mean, that's just mainly because, actually, I don't know. Like, they have a Kassadin player on their team. Yeah. Don't they?
I'm sure Kerp can play damn anything.
Yeah, I have no idea why they'd ban Kassadin.
It's been a very similar 3 bans out of Ocelot's World and Millenium throughout the entire week that they want to take away the same 3 champions every time. But with the Zillion, at least, Renekton taken away by PNG Gaming, we're going to see Gragas as here. And we already saw Araneae earlier on playing him in the jungle.
Yeah, I definitely think that's a really good first pick because you can put him in the jungle. I mean, I've seen him play at top, and you can play him mid, so you can pretty much go anywhere. So I think it's a really versatile pick. I think that's pretty good.
All right, well, we're seeing Thresh and Fire locked in here for PNG Gaming, and SirT's been pretty much everywhere throughout all of his jungle picks, and Minerva going to be on that Thresh. And you remember we were casting the first best of 3 between paIN and Isris, and Minerva could not hit a hook, but once he did, it was like hook champion, kill champion.
Yeah, I mean, Annie's a little bit rougher lane for Thresh, even with the stun changes. But I think it should be a pretty even lane, regardless of what AD carry they pick. Lucian's a pretty balanced AD carry, and he has pretty good matchups against all of the different AD carries. So I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe a long-range AD carry like Caitlyn or something out of paIN here.
All right, well, they are still sitting on their picks here, and I have to realize there's a lot at stake here. $15,000, the ticket to Katowice as well, and I'm actually going to log in Jinx. brTT did fantastic with Jinx earlier on.
Yeah, he hit every Super Mega Death Rocket, just sniping people everywhere. So I think it's a really good pick, and she's a pretty good matchup against Lucian as well. You can push the lane up really early if you start with your Q, and you can just gain early lane advantage with that, hit that level 2 really early. And of course, her level 6 all-in potential, if Thresh hits a hook, somebody's going to die.
Somebody, yeah, indeed. And we do see Trundle actually being picked up here for that top lane for Venon.
I think that's a really early Trundle pick. I'm not sure they should have done that early, because I think Trundle has a couple of picks that you probably want to play him into. But let's see if Millenium has anything for him.
I kind of actually want to see that locked in and see Annie not as the support, but it looks
Isn't that Soaz that plays the Blitzcrank top? Yeah, I mean, where are you at, Soaz?
I was thinking, yeah, Fnatic. I mean, they had Yellow Star play Shen top lane, and Soaz played Blitzcrank bottom.
Oh, might see Warwick top.
Oh, wow. So we're going into Darian's kind of style right there.
Yeah, we got Darian up in here now.
They're going to... Yeah, that's pretty much his main champion. I can't that lead.
Yeah, I would like the Lee Sin pick here. You're going to be able to match Vi as far as early pressure. You're actually going to out-pressure early, and even at level 6, you're going to be able to counter-gank on her and put just as much pressure on the lane, so I like that. And then I guess they're going to play Olaf into Trundle, so that's a pretty good pick. He'll be able to do true damage to the Trundle, so even if he does decide to stack some tank stats, he'll still be able to burst him down. But I think it's probably just going to be 2 tanks farming top, if I had my guess.
2 greased up fat lads from Grimsby, as Steven would say.
Yeah.
But with the lineup that we have from Millenium, while we sit on that last pick out of PNG Gaming, how do you think? Oh, wow.
You only see a lot is Shifter nowadays. But I think a top level Ahri is pretty good, but I don't think I'd pick it in the Gragas. Gragas can roam just as hard as you can. He can push up the wave just as hard as you can. And he has the potential to all in and kill you at any point in the game. So, kind of a weird pick up there. They have a really big pick comp though. They have Vi that can initiate with their ultimate. They have Trundle Pillar where they can slow somebody down and then catch them with the Corks from the Jinx or a Thresh Hook. So I think they're just trying to pick off people around objectives with that team comp. And then paIN is just, I guess they just have like this, it's not even a wombo comp. I don't really think there's much synergy with their comp. They have like the Annie Gragas initiate, but they're just gonna have like Lee Sin and Olaf running into their team and Lucian trying to shoot people in the tank line. So it's kind of a weird team comp. I don't know. I don't really like Millennium's team comp that much. It's not that much synergy, but if they just win in the landing phase, it's not gonna matter anyways.
Okay, very true. And one thing I do like seeing out of paIN's composition is the whole Ahri Thresh combo, where if you hit a hook or you hit a charm, you're gonna hit it with something else right after that, with one of the 2.
Yeah, I remember CLG saying that in one of the LCS splits. It's just somebody hits a skill shot, we're all gonna hit our other skill shots on top of them, and then they're gonna die. So.
And that's what was funny. That was what Ultimate was just so damn good at back at the summer split when they had these really whenever they went for an engage, no one hesitated. If someone went in, they just all piled in no matter what. If it was terrible engaged, they were going to lose it, they didn't care, because that is so scary to go up against. Just having all 5 people committed to a fight.
Since PC reset, and
there we go.
Good to go.
Looks like it will be starting here in just a second, guys. So to remind you, we have Millenium here in the grand finals against PNG Gaming, who were able to upset Ocelot World not just 30 minutes ago, and we are going to be kicking this game off. So we're going to have Millenium over on the blue side, we're going to have PNG Gaming over on the red side. Level 1 action. Talked about a little bit earlier on, but refresh your memory.
I think they're all just going to line up down the river and stare at each other grimacingly. You want to put some money on that?
Let's do it, yeah, because right now PNG's grouped up pushing bottoms. I'd like to put some money on this.
All right, I'll buy you a drink tonight. How about that?
Nice.
If you win.
I'll get the most expensive one I possibly can. But either way,
Okay, Mr. Pina Colada.
you're good. Don't judge me. But we have PNG Gaming moving out towards the bottom side of the map, as well as Millenium. We could see some sort of engagement from Millenium. They seem to have the read on this. They are grouped up, waiting for the action. They're off the side. They have the stun. And when PNG walks into this, they might get that 5-minute stun that could be so crucial. And there's the charm. It lands on the cabin. They're going to get the hook onto him as well. He's getting very low. Venon is just very low as well. The Ignite ticket. He's going to go down. First blood over to Jree. And another switch over to SirT. Are they going to bust for the one? Yes, they do. The body slam out of Kerp. It helps pick up the kill. They get 2 kills down. Now Minerva, he's in trouble. He does have flash escape where Araneae and Kerp do not have it. But they are chasing this down. They don't want to let it go. And just like that, they seem to have the perfect read on PNG. They pick up the first 2 kills. And we're finally starting to see, oh no, call me.
With the disrespect, Lee. Oh my god, I guess I own you your little pina colada then.
Yes.
Yeah, they ended up hooking the Olaf. It looked like they really predicted that. They had the Olaf sitting in there. He was the bait. He's the only person in the brush. You get a little bit of vision of it probably once you throw your skill shots in and you hit that hook. And they heard it hit, and then they just went all in on it. And of course, they got AoE. Graga's body slam does an insane amount of damage early on. So they just got cleaned up off of that. But you got to remember, early kills in the game with the changes to Season 4, not worth as much gold. So usually before that, I'm like, oh my god, well the game is, it's pretty much over. But I think it's going to give Millenium a lot of breathing room, but I don't think it's going to be a huge advantage. I mean, it's only like 800 gold at this point in the game. So.
One thing I want to touch on, though, and get your opinion, is the amount of summoners that were used for that fight.
You mean all the summoners?
Basically, yeah, basically all the summoners. And does this open up, or is this more of a benefit to Araneae to gank, or is this more of a benefit to SirT?
Well, I mean, the main thing to look at is where the bot lane still has other summoners. So usually if you're a Lee Sin or a Vi, you kind of want to aim into the bot lane since they already have a lot of CC. But I think you're going to see a lot of pressure mid on this since Gragas doesn't have flash, neither does Ahri. And if you had a body slam on Ahri and Lee Sin follows it up, she's going to be dead.
You see Kerp, he's doing a lot of work right there, pushing him out almost instantly. We do have a couple of items picked up. I mean, mostly just wards out of everyone else who picked up those kills, just going to store the rest of that money for themselves. And what lane do you think we really need to watch out for? Like, where's all the action go down? I want to say...
It's going to be mid lane, for sure. I mean, both mid laners don't have flash, so I think if the jungler shows up and either Ahri hits a charm or Gragas hits a body slam, somebody's going to die.
Well, right now, both junglers going to be able to take their own buffs here. Araneae going to be at his blue as well as SirT. And Araneae, I wonder if he's going to go off the back as well as SirT because they have so many possibilities. Like you said, bottom lane, pretty much have every summoner available, or at least their escape mechanism summoners.
Yeah, I don't think that he's going to be moving anywhere around bottom, but I can definitely see mid lane pressure. It looks like Lee Sin's going to be going top, though. He knows both the top laners have all their summoners down, so he might try to do something off of this.
He's looking for that kill on a Venom. If he can land that Q, or Kevin can just bait him out a little bit further, they're going to be able to make a big play off this. They do go in, they do get the slow. Venom gets caught with the Q. They're getting some good damage onto him. Are they going to go for the dive here? Araneae is getting very low on health. He's forced to actually back away, almost going down.
If Olaf had his Ignite for that, then he did blow in a level 1 fight, that would have been a dead trundle.
Either way, they do push him out of the lane. They're going to shove this in. They're going to force Venom to be even further behind. He only has that 6 CS compared to that 17 now on Kevin.
That's such a massive way to be losing. Not only the farm and the CS, but that's so much experience. That's a level and a half right there. Even the cannon minions in that wave, and he's just missing all of that. It's so brutal. And of course, the Vi, not even in position to come clean that up.
And Kevin, he gets spotted out by that ward, but he was waiting on the sideline to make something happen off that. And that turret, going to drop down to about half health here. And we're going to see summoners come up here momentarily. It's about 30, 40 seconds to go. And I wonder, is Araneae going to visit that top lane yet again? Is he going to visit somewhere else? But he's already applied that pressure on the map, giving him that 1,200 gold advantage.
Yeah, I think the damage is done top. I don't think Trundle's going to be pushing out anytime soon, so...
Right now, you're seeing that harass come in. Adam Millenium, Jree getting brTT relatively low here. We do see on the top side, though, Araneae goes straight in for SirT. And SirT doesn't have that flash to get away. Araneae has an ability to run around. He's actually kind of getting caught off right here. He's got Venom to worry about, but he can hustle probably take him 1v1 in this fight. Said he does ward up, does safeguard to it, and he should be able to escape this, I want to say, but Venom trying to go after him, does get the slow. SirT, though, not there to really back him up.
That level 1 kill gold gives him an extra ward to hop to. Gives him a pretty good advantage and a nice escape route.
All right, so about 5 minutes in here. Let's take a look at the early CS across the board because we already see results of Araneae coming towards the top side. 18-7 now. We have a level 3 Olaf compared to a level 2 Venom, but you can just see in the health alone that Kevin just has a giant advantage.
Yeah, if you get the level advantage on somebody in lane with Olaf, just because the nature of his abilities and how his chain CC works with his axe, he can just slow you down the lane over and over again. It becomes really brutal if that wave gets pushed in favor where the Olaf can freeze it in front of his tower. And it looks like the wave is going to be pushing in. So if Olaf's smart and he freezes that wave in front of his tower, that Trundle's never going to be able to farm again.
Or Araneae is going to come in for a gank as well. Venom doesn't really have a way to escape here. He does get the nice block down with a Pillar of Filth, but they're not able to catch up to him just yet. Will they go for the diver? Kevin's taking up. He does have the ignite. They're going to go for it. Venon's going to go down. Kevin will he be able to escape? Yes, he does. And that is another kill going over to Millenium. 3-0 now, 5.5 minutes in.
Yeah, Araneae has this guy's number. He does not want this Trundle to get going, and he doesn't want him to get fed at all. He's basically taking him out of the game, because a Trundle who's not farmed up and doesn't have a lot of levels, and is not tanky, and doesn't have Play the Rune King or any of those kind of core items, he's literally useless in a team fight. He's going to put his pillar down, ult, and then he's literally going to do nothing. And level 1 ult doesn't even sap that much stats, so I think he just wants to take that tank out of it. That's their primary tank in their team, and if you take the tank out of the team comp, you can just run the Jinx over.
So here's a question for you, because I always wonder how early aggression or early results in a game can really affect you down the line. Venom and Kevin. Since Kevin has this giant advantage over him, has a 20 CS lead, has a level advantage, do you expect Kevin to keep pushing that top lane once he gets that turret down, or do you expect him to group up with Millenium, maybe go for some global objectives?
Well, I actually don't think he's ever going to try to take that top turret. He wants that turret to stay up because he wants...
Okay, Barrel does... Kevin's actually very light with Knight away, but does survive. Oh no, here comes SirT, and he gets it down. Also, Araneae! He flashes! He lands the Q on a comp! He turns it around, and Kerp does the same with
Not only did he save the Gragas, but managed to catch that Ahri off guard and just nail her in the face and pick up that kill. That's pretty nice.
And Araneae really strutting stuff here with that lead set. He's behind quite a bit of CS, but he's been involved in every single kill right now, just making his presence known towards the spawn side of the map, maybe trying to scare out paIN. And right now, Kami going down, we have clear advantages for Millenium. I mean, mid lane, 51 to 37 CS, but Jree getting hooked up right there under turret. He's actually getting hit by the turret while the ignite does go down. Will they commit off? This brTT forced to back away because of Creaton. Jree's gonna have to go home and heal up here, but SirT, he's actually going for semi-invade here. Maybe he's expecting his blue to be taken.
Yeah, he sees Lee Sin's in the bottom. Yeah, he sees Lee Sin's in the bottom lane, so of course, usually people start their blue a lot. Probably not a Lee Sin. So he wants to have that warded for when it does come up. He's gonna go to his red and probably try to contest that blue buff.
All right, well, let's see how that goes. About 8 minutes in here. And right now, Millenium, let's take a look at the early items that have been built up so far. But check out Kevin. Double Doran's Blade, Doran's Shield, and a Chain Vest.
Yeah, he has so many Doran's items. And he has the chain, it's like oh my god, there's so many Doran's items. He has this Chain Vest. He's probably going to go into Sunfire, maybe a Glacial Shroud after that. But there's no way that Trundle can do any damage to him at this point. He has a Cloth Armor and a Doran's Shield. He literally will do nothing to this Olaf. The Olaf has so much control and he can do anything he wants to this guy right now. He's probably at the point where he can just straight up dive on his own pretty soon.
And you see Kevin, he is level 6, approaching level 7 right now. We take a look at Venon real quick. He's just about to hit level 6, so finally have that ultimate, that extra sustain off of that. In the meantime, though, we're having Araneae. He's got this whole map controlled. He's going for this blue still here. It looks like he's going to be able to take it. Kerp has the zone available right now with his ultimate if he wants to use it, and they should be able to pick this one up. Araneae will actually take that for himself.
Yeah,
Minerva was able to spot it, he can take it.
I'm actually really surprised that Divide decided to just take his red and then just not do anything about going for the enemy blue. Instead he just went back to base.
Actually, I don't think it's been taken just yet over for Millenium. It looks like it's in here, and we're actually seeing SirT finally come around, so we might see that wish come true. And he realizes that Kami needs that blue. Will he be here in time, though? Because Kerp, he's in position to stop this. He has ultimate available, and Kerp will be able to pick up that blue.
Exactly the most amazing thing. But actually, I think it's a little bit better now because, you know, it has 10% CDR. They kind of nerfed the mana regen on a little bit. But the energy regen is actually really nice for making a lot of plays. And since Kerp got the blue buff from the enemy team, it's going to be really good for pressure.
And we're seeing all the land on brTT, knocks it down to about a have that BF sword, but Creaton has it as well as a ruby crystal. Right now, Archer on go in on a Kerp. They already saw Araneae there, so I'm a little bit surprised.
Yeah, did he just explosive crash? He just missed his ultimate, didn't he? It was so he threw it point blank in front of him. It almost looked like it didn't come out of him and completely left. I'm surprised that they didn't decide to go in on that. They saw Gragas' ult miss. They could have put a lot of pressure and probably killed him.
Well, right now, we have Kevin still dominating the CS of Venon. And the thing is, what about Venon did so well throughout the entire week was that he was always farming. I mean, if he fell behind, he would never fall this far behind. He was always a rock-solid person to go to for his team, a backbone to really...
Yeah, he was definitely the workhorse of his team. I mean, he was in the thick of every single fight. He's just this huge tank wall in every single fight. And he just can't quite do that this game. He's just falling pretty behind. But one thing to notice, he keeps getting these double golems. The overall level.
Let's just take a look at that. 3,300 gold, so pretty much 1,000 gold in favor of Kevin, and you're seeing that reflect. What's the effect on TB for that?
I mean, there's so many jungle camps in the game right now, and they respawn so fast. It doesn't really matter if you take jungle camps at this point. And even Vi, she's gonna focusing her time bottom right now, try to get that gank off. So she's not gonna be going for those jungle camps anyways.
All right. Well, he does have the ultimate available. He doesn't have flash, but they do obviously have that lantern gank, and Thresh has his ultimate up as well. Jree sitting on that stun. Timber's not available just yet. And SirT's not going to be, actually would be spotted when he goes into this next push.
It's kind of an interesting time for him to go for this gank when the wave's so far pushed up. I mean, if he goes in and ults and somebody flashes him into turret and he gets stunned, it could be really bad for him.
You even saw Kami trying to come around down towards the bottom side. I wonder if he's trying to expect a counter or try to gank Araneae when he comes in, because he's trying to turn it around. But the way Ar's going for that turret, not really caring about Venon hitting him right there, as you can see, and that turret's already very low in life now.
Yeah, the Trundle does literally no. I think he's healing him at this point. It's just pretty ugly to watch.
That would suck if he had negative AD and actually go down. But the flash that cuts that turret, brTT, so Trundle gets hit with the Q, but the fire interrupt! It stops Araneae from getting to brTT with the super pick of Death Rocket, always picks up the kill on Araneae as a nice kickback comes in, but Creaton gets pulled back into the team, and they're going to reset this with no kills coming in, but that was a beautiful Q out of SirT to stop that.
Beautiful play by SirT. The Ball Breaker ended up knocking the Lee Sin out of his kick. Jinx would have been dead for sure at that hit. So really nice play defending him right there.
Venon being forced to use that ultimate in that top side to heal a little bit here. Make sure he keep Doe flash out right there on the bottom side. And Kevin, he's just unstoppable. He's still almost double the CS right now with Venon, and it's constantly taking the junk creeps like you're saying before, but I'm really worried because Kevin's sitting on 1,600 gold. He's going to be such a tanky beast that I wonder if Dragon is going to be a real thing to happen soon.
I think he's found out where Trundle's been this whole game, and I don't think he likes it, so he's just going to try to take that golem. But let's see.
Close if Kevin's going to go for the engage. He has that goes. He's going to be the one to take it here.
The thing is, Ari's missing off the map right now, so I don't think he wants to commit to that.
Well, that turret already down to 600 life.
Well, the big thing here is that turret's just eating every single one of those creeps, and they're not getting anything out of it.
It's going to hurt him quite a bit more as he progresses this game, but he has been able to go giant spell. He has been able to build up a little bit tanky, and still so strong. He does get it down. He's going to get caught here. It's flash over that Wraith Camp wall, and with that, it actually forces somehow to back away. Didn't have the ultimate available.
That was just straight up an interface play. It's like, what are you going to do about it? The Vi was even sitting there backing right in front of him, and he decided to almost tower dive the Ahri right in front of that Vi. 2v1 tower dive. And yeah, he's just still staying in the lane.
And look at this, Araneae coming in the backside. They know load up right here, but they do see Trundle coming in from the side. He does get the kill with the second, and now Venon trying to go after Kerp here. He does have SirT coming in from the backside. We can hear him laughing. He's taking no damage from Venon.
Yeah, I don't think he cares at all about the Trundle. The Chain Vest doesn't exactly give Trundle that much damage, so don't think he's gonna be too scared of that. But yeah, that Ahri just took so much damage from that barrel. And one of the reasons they rushed into this DFG, so they don't really have any magic resist.
And that's gonna be a dead Kerp. He's coming a little bit too far, being a little bit too aggressive, trying to take a red buff, and he does get punished with it. Picking up the first kill of the game here, 5-1 now in favor of Millenium.
Kerp just needs to calm down just a little bit in between all these times.
And Millenium just all ending this bottom lane. brTT getting very low. Wing for that side, it does land, and that is going to be brTT dead as well. One kill apiece for Millenium in this bottom lane, and now it's 7-1. Millenium are just starting to run away with this game. Well,
remember at the beginning of this game, you said you didn't really see much out of Creaton in that bottom lane. Well, there it is right for you. It seems like they took control of this, and I mean, brTT, Minerva, they're not exactly just like a slot to watch.
Against it with Pierce.
Yeah, I definitely think he's one better AD carries.
Well, right now we have Kevin still being annoying in the top lane. I will say it's definitely a pain in their ass right now because he constantly shoves in that top lane over and over. That was totally intentional too. I feel bad for that one. But Kerp gonna be able to take his own move up here, it looks like. And they haven't been able to build up a 6,000 gold lead. They haven't even bothered going for Dragon yet.
Yeah, it's a 6,000 gold lead in 15 minutes of the game without taking a single Dragon. That's pretty big. A lot of that gold is from towers, but of course it's huge CS disadvantage in the top lane. It's double his farm. It's so much farm differential. And I think just because that Trundle is so far out of the game, it might just cost them the game. I don't see a way of them making it back in at this point because they have this pick comp. They want to take over objectives and take it off. And if you're behind, you can't really do that.
And you're seeing Kami just be zoned out from that one bear, but I mean all that yes that he possibly can. You see every lane is winning for Millenium. They're not losing anywhere except maybe in the jungle because of the difference in farm, but still in the end you have Araneae being in 5 of the 7 kills where fortunately for SirT already has that 1 death, and you see Araneae moving around looking for another kill yet again. He went for that early sweep plan, and it's been working out so well for them because he's been giving the opportunity to make a lot of these ganks happen.
Yeah, he's been controlling so much of the vision. He's literally been everywhere on the map in this game. And he definitely made his presence felt top lane. That Trundle is still hurting from that. So I think they're just going to try to make a play on Dragon. They have so much pressure in the bot lane, but it looks like paIN actually wants to contest this.
Well, we do have Kevin coming down from the top side, though. They do try to stop it. Looks like they're going to back away. Kevin.
Yeah, smart decision for them to back out on that. If they got, they probably would all instantly die. Not worth losing the game over this.
And flash out of it. That was 3 ultimates used and no kills picked up. And now Ari's getting chased down by Kevin. He already uses Ghost. There's his Ragnarok actually popped. He's looking for the early miss. Kami, all of this, the rest of the team, 4 men grouped up, are going to take the first middle turret and maybe a second.
Yeah, you know you're in a bad situation when your mid and top lane is getting 1v2. And that's like I was saying at the beginning of the game is, even if you get a thresh hook or a pick on that Lee Sin, he's such a slippery champion that he's going to be able to make it away from that really easily.
And he showed it right there perfectly, just like you said. I mean, it did commit his flash, but he got rid of 3. Hasn't really been impactful in these games just yet.
Really they know Ari's ultimate's down because she's using the top lane, so I wouldn't be surprised if they try to get a pick here.
Kevin, in the meantime, doing what a Kevin does. Just farming up that top lane. 160 CS now, 18 minutes in. The funny thing is, he's not even leading his team because Kerp is actually at 164. He's going to get chased down here. He doesn't have Ignite. He doesn't have Ragnarok. Turn around and fight this. He does get ignited up. Venon and SirT pretty much using everything they possibly can. We see the rest of them coming in from the bottom side. Annie gonna fight the wall. He's gonna get the start on the Venom. We splash out of her and they do push him back. They're gonna save Kevin's life. They're not gonna chase them down, but they do keep him alive nonetheless. But we do see Kami coming up the side. He has flash, he has ignite, he has ultimate, but he's not gonna go for it. He's gonna back out instead.
Yeah, his team came in just the nick of time to save him. They didn't have any. Well, they didn't want to have anything to do with it. I mean, they have the Spectre, I guess. And of course that Annie has her flash type at that point. So really good for them to get out of that. But I like what they're doing with the Olaf. They're just basically taking the Trundle out of the game. He's not going to be in any of the team fights. They don't really have a very good tank line. Olaf's going to just sit up top. He's going to push top all day. And they have to send more than one person to deal with him. They're really doing a really good job of using a 4-1 split.
And even then, I mean, if it's not SirT and Venom, then they might be able to get turned around 1v2 by Kevin with how strong he is now.
Yeah, he ended up beating the Ari and the Trundle earlier in the fight. So, yeah, I don't think anybody can handle that Olaf right now.
Well, we do see Kerp sitting on 2,000 gold, hasn't things of Holy Grail done. We do see the DFG done on Kami, which is a typical Ari build, but
who is he going to burst on that tank?
Exactly.
Line? I mean, that Olaf's pretty damn tanky. Lee Sin, he has the Sightstone and the Ancient Golem on top of that. And yeah, Athene's gives you a ton of MR, and you also have your damage reduction on Gragas's W, so...
I mean, the only one he could get is Creaton or Jree, but if he goes for them, he's going to get stunned and locked down.
Yep.
Oh, but there we go. Araneae getting caught yet again. We did see 3 ultimates last time. He's going to be able to escape this time most likely. No, he gets taken out by SirT and paIN. Picking up a Mantra to kill. Can they make anything else happen off this? You see Kerp, he does have his ultimate available. A little bit confused why he didn't use it to save Araneae, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I think yeah, I have no idea why he didn't use his ultimate. Was it not up? Or it was definitely up. So I'm pretty surprised that he didn't use the cast to try to either A, counter-engage, or B, save Lee Sin.
Either way, paIN getting a much needed kill. They're almost 10,000 gold behind. And that one, we did go over to SirT. So He's able to pick up that kill, maybe get a little bit tankier than he needs to, but Kevin, in the meantime, going for the red buff here. He might get actually closed in on because he's standing right on top of the ward. Kami doesn't have ultimate going up, he's good.
So I don't really think that Kevin's going to be too scared of the people closing in on him. And of course, he hit some kind of CC on him.
The thing is, that's not a good sign if you're a paIN fan. I mean, 2 times in a row they had and pick him up. Let's go ahead and go over those really quickly as we have them. So for Kevin top wave, has a Sunfire Creaton, has a Ninja Taba, he has Negatron Cloak. Look over at specifically Creaton, Triforce done, the BF Sword done. He's basically a full BF Sword ahead of his opponent right now onto brTT, and then we look at Jree, he almost had that Talisman of Ascension done, and he has boots mobility.
Yeah, once he has the Talisman of Ascension, they'll have so much initiation capability, and I'm pretty sure she's going to try to flash Tibbers that Jinx and have the Gragas follow up, and then of course Olaf's going to be running with Talisman Ascension. Jinx is not going to survive.
It's going to be very difficult for paIN, but they have proven in the past they have been able to come over worse odds than this, and Kevin, he's still... There's a lot of words I want to use for him right now, but he's been doing such a good job distracting top lane.
He's being a pain, right?
Yeah, he's being a pain right now for paIN Gaming, but he's been playing this role perfectly. I mean, he realized he had the advantage, and he's been using it. He's been playing it down to a T, like exactly what they needed to.
Yeah, Araneae gave him the advantage in the early game. Really good job by him, and he came back and revisited the lane just to put the nail in the coffin, and Kevin has just run off with that lead.
He almost has a 100 CS lead over him.
Yeah, he's at 90 CS over him. It's pretty damn ugly. And of course, they have all that tower gold on top of that.
Kevin kind of get caught up a little bit here, and I said caught up, but I'm pretty sure SirT is the one that's actually getting caught. They actually commit the ultimate onto him. I'm not sure that's the target they want to make happen. They don't really have any DPS back with help. He has Ghost, he has Ragnarok. He's going to pop that one. He's still sitting on top of that Ghost, but instead he's not. The rest of the lane to come in as Araneae going back to the engage. We have Kami coming up from middle of the hook, unfortunately not going to land. And look in the meantime what's happening. Creaton is just pushing this middle lane, and the rest of Millenium are just distracting.
Yeah, Millenium's just trying to buy time. They saw Creaton pushing bottom a lot earlier into that. Creaton just took advantage of that, and they just took that free buff. There's nobody down there doing anything about it. And of course, they had the Dragon Timer, who's going to swing down right after that, collect that free global gold.
And with that Dragon going down, this could be Millenium taking a 10,000 gold lead here exactly at 23 minutes in. And if you're in, paIN's shoes, what do you need to do to get back in this? Because they have one sweeper lens. Now the rest, the 4 warning trinkets, but the thing is they can't even fight anyone because as you're saying, you ult Kevin, it doesn't really do anything. You ult Araneae, it doesn't really do much because they're just so tanky.
Well, not only that, if you look at the map, their jungle, they see every single thing that's happening. So how are we going to get a pick on somebody, which is what paIN's entire team is built. Continuing the 4-1 split until they take down that top turret, and then they'll probably move on to Baron.
And Kevin, he just is shoving Venon. Venon's had so many great trouble that to happen as it being picked up. Araneae actually see Kevin come from the top side. They're going to go for this turret. And Chono's nowhere to be found. He had to go back to base. He was so low.
Yeah, everybody's completely out of position. They're cut off on that right side near the blue buff.
It's really like they're reading a book. They're executing the exact playbook they had before this game even started. They're just doing one thing by the text and really pulling this one off. It just seems like paIN, they don't really have an answer to this. They're even tanking up that turret. We see Kami actually getting very low. I believe that was to Kerp with just one little combo.
Yeah, it's a really good play by Millenium here, rotating top lane after this, keeping paIN on their toes, making sure that they don't have time to hit as many objectives as they can, where they paIN time farming up, get any eyes on their champion.
Right now, you see Kami forced to go back to base here. He finally has arrived, but it's just too late. They're going to get the top turret, and that's going to take him to 6-0 in favor of turrets, 7-2 in favor of kills, 12,000 gold lead almost here. They have the potential to do Baron if they want to ward up the enemy jungle yet again, but even though they've picked up more Barons than anyone else here in Extreme Masters Sao Paulo, I'm not sure if they're going to go for that or they even need it.
Well, first they need to, go back and get some wards. Everybody needs to get pink wards, sweeper lenses. They took out that mid and top turret. What that does is allows them to control the entire red side jungle. They have nowhere to run back to. It's so far back to save point, which is their base turrets, that if somebody gets caught trying to check for Baron or trying to ward for Baron once they clear out all the vision, it's going to be a free Baron or a free inhibitor off of that. So Annie, what she's going to do right now is to try to clear out all the vision around Baron, and then the rest of their team is going to get wards all to get that pick.
What's a shame is that, I mean, personally, what do you think? Should paIN invest in any more super wards? Or super trinkets to kind of clear out that vision so they can't afford to push out without being afraid of getting stunned up?
To be honest, when you're 11k, the only I think they have to try to for Baron or test it. They're probably so. The proper reaction is to just get all the waves pushed out and then just try to. You basically have to wait for the laner to make a mistake and try to defend and basically hold out at a base turret.
Well, Baron down to about 8,000 life right now. We do see paIN working their way over. I think they sense something is happening, but that barrel's gonna do some decent damage to paIN there. They're gonna win up over the wall. We do have SirT with that flash available. He could go for the steal here, but Jree getting caught on the backside. Coffee gets blown the hell up, and you see Jree still alive. He finally just dropped, but Minerva gets dropped very low. He's gonna go down, and we see Kevin so damn tanky. He finally does go down, but not before taking out the RTT. The flash out of Kevin gets the body slam, and SirT forces the flash out of him. Creaton's gonna hop over the wall, and now Ben, the last man standing, doesn't get body slam, but he's forced to flash away, and Millenium losing 2 people, but picking up 4 kills is sure could allow them to pick up an inhibitor.
Yeah, that tunnel's quite a bit of damage. They not get the barrel off of it, but there's 4 members of paIN dead, so they're just gonna go in. I'm not sure they'll be able to take it on this wave. They have no wave coming up for a while. They do massive damage to it, but I don't think they're gonna quite be able to get it yet. One thing I would have liked to have seen out of Millenium there is they had so much, they could have put up so much vision control, and they could have just got an easy pick. Like, you saw how much damage that Gragas did. That Ahri instantly died. So they can do that to almost any member of paIN Gaming. They just need to wait somewhere where they have good vision control and just pick somebody off when they come in to check it.
Right now we see Minerva with that super lens. Gonna be spotting out that blue that's not gonna be there. He actually might walk right into Kerp, and look, the damage Kerp gets. Can he run away? Because can he escape? Can he kite them long enough right now? It looks like the super mega death rockets from the bottom side. Fortunately, not gonna hit. And will SirT knock him down? As do have Creaton. He's hitting both at the same time. He doesn't care who he kills, but paIN will be able to escape from that. And Araneae even getting very close. Lazy to get the kill. He gets one more auto attack up. We see the ult. The time he gets the kill.
Bloodthirsty this game. He doesn't care who he's going against. He just keeps flying into everybody. He doesn't care if he dies.
And paIN getting a lot of much needed kills right there. I don't think anyone even went down. If anything, that was Minerva, but you can afford to get rid of his support if you're able to pick up a kill onto Araneae and onto Kerp right there. Creaton just going to be backing away from that top side. Decent amount of gold to spend, I would imagine, over on the side of paIN, but right now we do have Creaton being chased down by SirT, and they're just running. They're holding hands right now.
Yeah.
They're best of friends.
Like, all right, let's just go run off together.
Creaton not able to dodge away from that just yet, but he's still kiting them for a long time. So you see Jree come up from the bottom side top lane. Going to come out to SirT, not doing a lot of damage, but he is able to get under the turret. Jree is now here. They're going to look for the stun. They get the stun on SirT under the turret. He goes down. Creaton does survive. In fact, pick up the kill for himself. Now they're actually chasing out paIN. Red pop with the coming back and should escape this. Looks like they're going to get another kill here. Can Creaton get that triple kill? He's looking for it. Yes, it does.
Those 3
Creaton's
kills are
unstoppable.
Guarantee a Baron unless somebody messes up a smite. So Vi is down for another 10 seconds. That Baron, even if he guards in time before she gets down there. And of course, Grass is just going to be zoning out with ultimate. If somebody can try to test this, he's probably just going to knock out with ultimate.
But make a death rockets coming from the side, just a little bit too early right there. Baron's still very healthy right now. And it looks like Millenium, the back of those 3 kills, are going to get Baron. Going to get a ginormous lead here, but 14,000 gold, 29 minutes in. And this might be the end of paIN here in this first map.
I mean, look at the bright side. Jinx is getting that dragon. Hey,
Always
dragon at this
optimistic.
point. Dragon at this point in the game gives more gold than Baron. Okay. paIN has their priorities in order.
Well, will he get it? SirT coming in, does actually lock that one down, but Araneae very blood hungry, looking in for maybe a fight right there. And you see the Random Omen picked up on him, the Random Omen picked up on Kevin. We should talk about items just a little bit here because Kerp, he's already been doing a lot of damage.
It seems like everybody just wants to prioritize stacking armor. They're not really afraid of Ahri at this point in the game. Olaf has a lot of natural magic resist because of his ultimate, and Lee Sin, I don't really think he cares if he gets poked. He's like, oh, if you're gonna blow your whole Ahri combo on me, I'm completely happy to take that as the jungler. So he just wants to be as tanky as possible and just sit on that Jinx, sit on that Vi, sit on that Trundle, and make sure that he doesn't get to their back line. Because Lucian's pretty damn fed at this point in the game. He has his last Whispers, BT, his Triforce, and he's just gonna melt that tank line.
260 CS, 24 CS ahead. And with that Baron, trying to barrel down middle, nobody with Kerp right there. You're seeing brTT be out of position. You can see Kevin potentially chasing him down if he did want to cross that side. And I wonder, are we going to potentially see a dive come in here because they have that Tibbers to open this one up.
Yeah, and he doesn't ever flash up, but I guarantee if one of the squishies comes up to try to clear that wave, you're going to see Gragas Barrel or Andy combo, and somebody's going to die.
And look at that damage right there. Just one head of Kerp. His ultimate's still up right now. Kame getting harassed down. The turret game taken. Forced to get the hell out. I think brTT flashed away. He's got to be very careful because if one stun, one slow lands, that's going to be the end of them. They get the inhibitor turret. They're going with the barrels. They just keep landing one after another, even onto the tankiest man of pain.
I really like the way that Kerp uses his ultimate just to chunk them so they can't fight for that turret. He took Kami down to like 10% health, and once he's at that low health, that's a free turret for them.
Oh, and the Colane going off from base right now to heal up. He doesn't have home runs yet, which is a little bit unfortunate for him. And Kevin, he's just taking out that turret, not really carrying. He does get hooked in. He's going to start getting a little bit low here, but with that berry buff, I would imagine it's not really too worried.
Yeah, Ari's ultimate's out now. Gragas' ultimate's just about to come back up. Guaranteed to do the exact same thing. Throw out his ultimate to chunk him and take the turret.
Oh, the ultimate out of Andy actually pick up that one goal and back away off of this. They're happy with that. They have the berry buff regen to still commit for this push, and that turret is already dropping very, very low. Or eventually will.
I think they gotta wait on the creeps for that. Maybe a little over-ambitious to get it right now. Take cover to do that, so definitely gonna be a turret.
And Kevin, he's going for the engager. Araneae popping, taking out the turret as well. Chase after brTT. He does with the barrel now. Minerva getting very low. Creaton just diving straight in. Araneae zoning them out here. The second inhibitor turret goes down. The second inhibitors go down as well. Now, I want to say with brTT down, the Millenium could finish this game, but in fact, they're going to play it safe. They're getting some buffs.
Yeah, Ari just came, but I guess just want to play it safe. You know, just want to make sure they get the nice lane win.
Millenium about 33 minutes into this game. The lead, 16,000 gold. I mean, it's just so far, and obviously the longer the game does go on, it won't matter as much, but Kami just, what's so weird is that we talked about the whole game plan of paIN. They want to catch someone with the skill shot. They want to, you know, charm them or hook them and really open it up for an entire burst down. Yeah. But the front line of Millenium, they just don't care. They can't even be bursted by paIN.
I think that paIN made almost the same mistake that us thought. Gragas is actually a pretty tank mid laner. Lee Sin's somebody that usually can't blow up because he's so slippery. He has so many ways of getting out. And Olaf, like, who the hell is going to kill this guy? He's been sitting up in top lane, like 1v5ing them. He just doesn't care. Like, who are they going to pick off on that team? And so Ari's just going to become a moot point in the game. She's not going to be a factor at all. So I'm not sure I feel about the Ari pick. One thing where they got that a little bit of edge, had a little bit to do with that. But I still think if this went late game and they were pretty close in farm, I would have still gave it to Millenium's team now.
All right, well, right now we're about 34 minutes in. We're looking at that final push potentially coming in. We have those two inhibitors being down middle and bottom. Super minions just start to flood into those lanes, and Millenium, they don't have Baron buff anymore, but they have all 5 men up lane. They have got a Kevin, not the man they wanted. You can see the damage pretty much doing nothing. You see actually Kami going to the backside, lands a charm, but Creaton's Banshee Veil does cleanse that off. And they are just stalling. I mean, we can take a look really quickly over here. We see the Super minions pushing in. They need to do something about it soon, and right now Millenium are just stalling. They don't really care.
Yeah, they're gonna have to send down for that. It's going to take her a while to clear out. So they're probably just going to get a lot of free chunk off on the turret.
Here we go. The barrels are landing for Kerp here. And paIN are taking a lot of chip. Houston going to be able to dodge it. We do see one Nexus turret actually fall. Look how minions are on this Nexus turret. They have to let them go, or they're going to have to go for a fight here, and they do back away. They're going to take those down. The Millenium are going to take the last inhibitor turret of the game, take the last inhibitor as well. And with that Nexus turret still all spawned, they do finally go for the game. Araneae pushing back, trying to get brTT into the team, but now he's being forced to run away. He gets a little bit slippery, but it looks like he might go down with the combo CC that they have. The anti-ultimate comes down on a brTT, gets blown up by Kerp. Now the rest of paIN are being forced to completely run away. A 1-for-1 trade, but that last Nexus turret, that is going down. Kami gets stunned, he goes down. He's going to get a kill onto Jree, but it's not going to matter much in the end. The Nexus is falling away. They're looking for some more kills on SirT, which just KD doesn't mean anything here. I'm going to close out the first game of this Season VIII against paIN Gaming in a very, very one-sided affair.
Yeah, you know it's an ugly game when the support's almost one-shotting your AD carry. That was pretty ugly at the end. I don't know, I think paIN Gaming just needs to get a little bit of better team comp and not, I don't know, like that whole situation in the top lane, I think that really put their team behind. It put so much pressure, and they eventually had to deal with that Olaf, and that, yeah, there was nothing they could do about him. So, I don't know, I'd like to see maybe a big mistake.
Now you're saying, I mean, picking it that early, you could be counter-picked him. You had the Olaf come in, and you didn't give 2 cares about what Venon was doing. He was
pretty disgusting, and then Araneae made sure that matchup was a living hell. I would not want to be that trundle in that.
The thing is, we saw level 1 fight. We saw Skirmishes. They're able to But a lot of summers away from pain, and then Araneae, he stuck top lane until he guaranteed a kill on a Venon. And then after that, he said, all right, if you're getting top lane, Kevin, he's got this. He's got 2 kills under his belt.
Well, I mean, the Trundle eventually became, Venon's like, well, I'm the jungler for the team now. So screw this top lane. I'm going to be taking these double golems. By that game, and so poorly. But on top of that, Lucy and Annie lane did really well. Like you said, Creaton and Jree weren't really shining in this tournament, and I think they kind of woke up.
They finally have woken up. But quickly, before we go to break here, what does pain do you think need to do differently? Is it all in the picks and bans, or was it that level 1 that really kind of threw them off?
It's against this really tanky team comp, and then of course they got behind and just got played out like a mess. So it's a combo of all those things.
Okay.
So if they can fix those problems, then maybe have a little.
All right, guys, we're gonna go to a quick little break here. But the real question is, Kevin